What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into tonight's NBA schedule and also just a little recap. It's not even a recap. I put out my college picks yesterday, obviously, last night, this morning, and we had one leg three, and that leg three is Loyola Chicago covers. I thought it was an odd line. It looks like it's going to hit. So just again, we're just running through our leg threes, and I want to go into our game. So last night I went to sleep. And if I had done the video last night, I would have said we're going Wizards leg three. I don't know why. I really liked them to win again. And for some reason, I woke up and looked at the line and looked at the game and said there's no way the Raptors don't win. So I'm going with the Raptors, and I am going with them as a leg three. I believe in it that much once I thought about it. First off, Wizards took the first game. These two could very well be the 9 and 10 seed or 8 and 9. I think they could be the 9 and 10. I think it's still going to be the Bulls and the Wizards. My point is, I think they're going to want it back and forth with these two teams. And I looked at their schedules. Raptors have a lot harder schedule than the Wizards. And the Wizards would have to beat the Lakers and teams that we know have to win down the stretch to make things interesting, right? The Raptors, they have some tough matchups, but nothing like the Wizards. So I was just looking at both aspects, who needs the wins more. And like I said, I just feel like based off of, as we know in the NBA, the people that should win shouldn't, and the people that shouldn't win should. But in this case, I do think they're going to have the Raptors win the game. They'd be 2 games ahead of the Wizards, but I think the Wizards are going to take this final game, this Wizards at Raptors game. Everyone would be expecting it to be flipped. Wizards win at home, Raptors win at home. I think they flip it, and I do like the Raptors to cover here in Washington. Go up a couple games, and then, like I said, down because of the end of the season schedule. There's just certain games I can't imagine the Raptors losing. Obviously, it's winning. I mean, it's scripted, but they're not going to have them believably knock off the Bucks and then the Celtics and then the Celtics again. Their schedule is just, in my opinion, they need to have a couple game buffer on the Wizards for it to make sense. So I'll take the Raptors here. I also think more people are going to be on the Wizards. They've been more consistent, and they just beat them. It's not a giant reason, but I think a little more will be on the Wizards here. So for both those reasons, I like the Raptors a lot. Next, Pistons, Cavs. I took the Cavs. I like them. I don't love it. Last night I noticed it was 13, then it moved to 16. That's either because just people are hammering Cleveland. It could be because they want people to take Detroit, so they just keep adding, that's why they keep expanding the lead. It could be a clip. I'm not sure why, but when it's set that high and they're moving it, it makes me believe they're trying to get people on Detroit. So I'm going to take Cleveland here for the cover. Hawks, Heat, I was back and forth on, and then I realized the Heat makes more sense. Has Snyder been undefeated right now as a head coach? I'd be going, with the Hawks. I'd be going with the Hawks. But he is just 1-1. Now, I don't think they want to start him off bad. So, starting off 1-2 isn't the best thing in the world. But I still think at the end of the day, I think they're going to have the Heat win this game. And I think they're going to have them, again, look like a decent, just like last year towards the end. When last year they were basically, I think they were a 2 seed. But they're going to make them look like a mid-tier team, like a 4 and 5 seed, I think. Anywhere between 4 and 6. Instead of this, I think they're an 8th seed right now. I don't think they finished there. So I'll take the Heat there to cover, to win, Next, I do like the Rockets because it's a 50-50 game, and I was looking at the records, looking at the metrics. The Rockets are pretty bad against the spread. I think more people will be on the Spurs at home, so I like the Rockets. 76ers, Bucks, I like the Bucks to cover. These guys, they play, I think they play one more time. 2 more times, okay. One more after this. So you got the Bucks, they won close game. Sixers won close game. 8 points is pretty close. And I think this time the Bucks win pretty handedly. I don't know why. And then I think the last game is going to be more of a, either Sixers win or a very close game. But it's going to be like a playoff. Playoff, if you look at the 4 games over, however many games over the course of a team's playing in the playoff, you'll have a couple blowouts. Most of them will be close. This one probably I don't think it's going to be a complete prison pounding, but I do think the Bucks will cover the Sixers. And finally, I like this one more than a lot of the others. I like the Wolves to cover the Kings. And I tell you, the Kings I can't catch a break with them. We picked them to cover yesterday. They didn't, of course. They won and didn't cover. We had them getting covered the day before, and they just barely won in double overtime. They've been a tricky team this year for me to read, but I did think they would win yesterday. I just thought they'd cover too. But this one, I think people are going to be really on the Kings. They've looked darn good. They've looked, to anybody that believes it's real, they're going to say this team is a force to be reckoned with. So I think that a rebuilding Wolves team, even though they just beat the Lakers, I don't see people taking them on the Kings, especially these odds. These aren't great odds. Plus 175. People are going to look for a better value. So I do like the Wolves here to cover the Kings. And again, not to belabor it, but just this is how simple it is. And we have a Loyola Chicago here as a leg 3. We're getting a few points, and we were up like 7 or 8 with 6 minutes left or something, but you never know. So I'm not going to assume we won that one. Obviously, if we did, we did. That's cool. You guys know because it's done now. But let's see. Raptors Wizards here is our leg 2, or leg 3. So all we do, like I said every other video, we look for anywhere we have a leg 1 loss and a leg 2 loss, which would be here, where we had the Clippers covering and they didn't. That was against the Warriors. We plug in Raptors Wizards, and it's funny because we played Raptors Wizards as a leg 3 now. We played Wizards to beat them as a leg 3, and it came through. So let's see if we get it again and pick the Raptors this time, because I think the Raptors do win this time. That's why I kept the Heat Hawks leg 1. Like I said, I thought it was just interesting to me. It was very close. I had a good reason for both teams. So if I love both teams, I'm either going to not pick it at all, or I'm going to do it a leg 1. Wolves cover Kings, like I said, I do like a little bit better. So that'll be a leg 2. And again, we just look for the last leg 1 loss, which was, again, coincidentally, it's the Clippers covering the Wolves. So hopefully we get that back. And again, it's just about closing sequences. I know it's a little redundant for people that have seen it, but for the people that haven't, they start using the system. And I'm starting to see a lot of people, especially in the Discord, make gains, which is great. And I did play the Rockets Spurs as a leg 2. I like this one as a leg 2. I think a lot of people are going to stay away from the game. And I just think I have been watching both teams and how they're being presented. The Rockets are presented as a team with a lot of potential with Kmart Jr., the way he's playing, the way Smith's playing. A couple different guys on the team have just looked really good. And I've noticed against shitty teams, they've actually done really well. So I think after the Spurs just got that win to break the slump, the Rockets are going to get this one. And again, they're really bad against the spread. I always take that into account. And then the rest of these you can see are just either college ones that we haven't played, and then hockey. So for hockey, there's not a ton. I like the Panthers to cover the Penguins, all because of metrics. These are all metric plays. You see we're getting plus 171 odds on that. Same thing with the Flames covering the Wild, we're getting plus 170. And then the Leafs Canucks, I like the under on that one. Those are my only 3 hockey plays. I kind of stayed away from the earlier ones. And Jets Oilers is an interesting one. Oilers are 40 and 18 on the over. Jets are like 14 and 40 on the over. Essentially, it's the worst on the over versus the best on the over, so I stay away from that one. Or normally I would have picked the Jets to go over and the Oilers to go under, but they're playing each other. But yeah, so again, like I said yesterday, we're officially over 100 units. We're doing really good. Loyola Chicago, I believe they came through, so that's good too. And between our college, hockey, basketball, we got about 15 in play, maybe 12 to 15 in play. And I think we're just going to keep climbing. So I'll get this out so you guys can get your picks in. Just bear in mind, I believe the first one is going to be the Raptors Wizards. I believe they play at like 5:30. It's a few hours. So I would just get it on. Like I said, my favorite play is Raptors cover Wizards, but I like a lot of other ones too. The reason I like them for leg 2s and stuff I went into. But if you want any, like I always say, leave a comment if you have any questions, any other games I didn't cover, or if you're curious as to why I like a team the way I do for 1 unit, for 2 units, or for 4 units. But take care, everybody, and happy earnings.